Scare the kids.
What's this? Mark Yates and Portsmouth away. Mark, how much has it been a case of being in a good place for a big game this week?
Yeah, we've won 2 out of the last 3. We had a mad 10 minutes against Chesterfield, so 6 points from 3 tough games is a decent return. You know, they're coming thick and fast now. A couple of different challenges for us at the minute. You know, on the back of a win to go and get another one, to go and play down at Portsmouth at Fratton Park, where there'll be a decent crowd, and we've got something else we've got to deal with.
They're a mid-table League Two side. Is almost the crowd the biggest difference that you've got to deal with?
They've got some good players. They've got some experience. You know, a fairly new manager there, trying to get people playing how he wants them to play. So, you know, and they played very well on Monday night at Chesterfield. But yeah, you know, it could be a big crowd by the sounds of it. They're trying to get a few in. And we just have to make sure that doesn't affect us. Apart from that, you know, it's a game that, you know, we're above them in the table. Very little difference between the 2 sides, I know, but we have nothing to fear. We've got to go there, play with the same attitude, same work ethic as we did last week, and if we do that, you know, we're not bad on the road, so we give ourselves a decent chance.
And it's about playing the players that are there now, isn't it? Not the ones who Harry read about 6 years ago.
Absolutely. I think Neil's just read his book and brought it to me, and you know, some of the names they're not there now. It's, you know, they're a League Two side. They're a big club in our league for sure, but there's nothing there we've got to go there and be fearful of. We've got to go and impose ourselves on the game, be respectful, be mindful that you know, they've got some good players, but nothing to fear.
Keodio Dejai, obviously one of those experienced faces and well known to Cheltenham fans. He'll be a threat.
Who?
Keodio Dejai.
He's at Accrington, isn't he?
Is it? Yeah, Accrington. I was the wrong team last week. Apologies.
That's all right.
I've read the last week report and it was on there.
Start again.
Yeah. Obviously, David Noble has been sort of working his way back to fitness. How's Nobby?
Yeah, he's travelling with the squad. He's had a good week on the training ground, and hopefully we'll get him involved as quick as we can. You know, if we'd have been on the back of a defeat last week, you know, we might be desperate to get him back in. I am desperate to get David back in and around, but at the right time for him. You know, we've waited this long. He will be in the squad, I say, travelling with the group, but he probably won't start.
But just to have him back, how much of a lift does that give?
Massive. You know, that's why we got him out there training with the players before the game on Saturday. He's an infectious character amongst the group. I think having him and around it helped us. I'll certainly say he'll be involved tomorrow in some part, and then we've got, you know, Tuesday, Saturday for the next few weeks. So his time will come soon.
And obviously his form coincided with Cheltenham's best run of the season. If you can keep that run going at the moment, then, you know, to have him back in just, you know, really puts you in a good place, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've missed him, no doubt about that, but that's not an excuse. As I say, we're keen to get him back involved, but, you know, I'm hoping that other people play really well, that, you know, I don't have to do it as a necessity. So I say he's pretty much 100% fit and he's raring to go. It's just obviously he hasn't played for a couple of months.
Troy okay after last week?
Yeah, no problems. Recovered well. No ill effects from that, and he'll be available as well.
And presumably the fact there wasn't a midweek game just may reduce the risk.
Yeah, especially with it being his first game back after 2 or 3 out. So we've had a good week. People have got a lot done in terms of what they've needed to do to be ready for, you know, and now we've got, I say, midweekers for the next 3 weeks. So they come thick and fast, and we just have to keep things as light and as fresh as possible for the players.
And everyone else okay?
Yep, everyone's good. Yeah, like I say, we've had a good week, and we're looking forward to going to, you know, a place that a lot of the players haven't played at before, and doing ourselves justice.
And is there a little bit of frustration after the 2-2 draw at Wadden Road, which arguably you should have won?
Yeah, that was a long time ago, and, you know, we played well enough to win, but, you know, we had to come back from being 2-1 down, I suppose. So, and it's a fresh circumstances. We've just got to make sure that we go with the right attitude and the right work ethic. If we do that and try and play our game, then we have a chance.
Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers, Paul.
Like they're sort of stabilising this season, aren't they, Portsmouth, after slipping down the leagues? But does going there show how important it is? Does it sort of make people understand, do you think, how important it is to run a club properly, on a sound financial footing, even though people want to be ambitious?
I think all I can talk about, Johnny, is our club, and we do that. The chairman and the board run the club very well. It's had, and it just shows, even at a club like ours, where we don't, throw money around. We found ourselves, struggling 5-6 years ago, if I remember rightly. So it just shows that it can be done, especially, when you're in the top divisions and striving for that success. But I don't think we'll ever be like that. They're a club that they've won the FA Cup 10 years ago, whatever it was, less than 10 years ago. And I think it's supporters run now, and with the chairman there who's trying to get things back going again for them. And I'm sure they haven't got the resources they had a few years ago, but they get crowds of between 18 and 13,000. They're gonna have some a little bit of funds there for a decent budget, so it could get back going again.
Yeah, there's some interesting points raised at the fans forum last night by the board that were saying there wasn't enough passion at the moment. I mean, there are some passionate fans, but there's not enough passionate fans watching Cheltenham. Do you think tomorrow's game will be an example of how, I know Cheltenham aren't going to get 15,000 at home games, but how, despite all the bad times they've had, they've really stuck with their team, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they've been good. I only go on what we see on the net and clubbing. I haven't been to Portsmouth for a few years myself, so I'm looking forward to that. We can't kid ourselves that we're going to get those sort of crowds. We know that, but we need to give the players and myself and the staff need to give the supporters something to cheer about. We haven't quite done that to the extent that we'd like to this year. I think over the last couple of years we've had some good days, some good nights at Wadden Road, at Wembley, at Tottenham, and stuff like that. And I suppose you can become a little bit complacent. And a message in my programme notes was like a big thank you for not hammering the players and myself against Chesterfield. But let's also find the balance where there's a little bit more noise and a little bit more enthusiasm. And sometimes that can, being that 12th man, it can be said a little bit blasé. But I think it can be a massive help to the players if the supporters are on your side and they're cheering and willing you on. I think it does help.
Yeah, and the board were definitely talking as if you're definitely going to be here next year. Is the contract close? Is it? Because everyone's wondering when it's actually going to be finalised.
Yeah, I spoke to the director yesterday. We're waiting on the clause they're trying to put in from the Football League. I'll just clarify now that we're just waiting on a clause from the Football League, the wording of a clause that protects both parties, more the club, and I'm willing to wait. The chairman's a little bit, a bit embarrassed that it hasn't been sorted out. But listen, there's no issue. I'll be signing it as and when.
Yeah, and they've said they've always had a great relationship with you and Neil, but they want to improve the communication, more regular communication. Yeah. Is that something that you've spoken about?
We've talked about things over the years, and rather than me just go to board meetings and be there for an hour, 2 hours, whatever, with them all, they've knocked it down a little bit. And rather than me go to actual board meetings, they're going to come and have little management meetings with, mainly myself every couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, the chairman, a couple of directors, or whatever, whoever, Tim, the finance guy, and just get a feel for the place. Come down here more. I want to involve them. It was as much us saying it about and making this happen as they were. We felt we wanted to get them down here and seeing what we do and meeting the players more often. And I think it'll be benefit for everybody.
Yeah, just finally, Mark, do you know which players you want to keep of the out of contract ones? Because they said that hopefully there'll be maybe some developments in the not too distant future on that.
I'm not. We've got 13 games of a season left yet. We're still nearly a third of a season to go. everyone's still playing for everything, you know. Nothing's cast in stone, you know, we haven't made our mind up about anything. Our thoughts shouldn't really be about that. We will be talking to one or two over the next few weeks, I would have thought, because that's been the aim. But we want to finish the season strongly. We want to finish 8th. We want to finish with as many points as we can. And that's all we're concentrating on at the moment.
Yeah. Cheers, Mark. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.